Okay, let's dive into one of life's strangest feelings, the weird elasticity of time.
I mean, have you ever wondered why some moments just fly by while others seem to drag on forever?
Well, it all comes down to a really simple rule about how our minds perceive time.
What's really interesting is that our brains don't have one specific part that just tells time.
Instead, how you experience time is all about how much information your brain is processing at that moment.
Psychologists have a cool way of explaining this. It's called the Attentional Gate model. Let's break it down.
Okay, just picture a gate in your mind that all kinds of information has to pass through.
So what's up with this gate when you're bored? You know, like staring at a clock.
Well, with not much information coming through, your brain's attention turns inward, and it starts counting time itself.
You become super aware of every single second passing. That's exactly why time seems to drag on.
Okay, but what about the flip side? When you're totally busy or having fun?
In that case, the gate gets absolutely flooded with sensory data. Your brain's bandwidth is just full.
So here's the whole thing in a nutshell. A bored mind's gate is clear, so time feels long.
A busy mind's gate is flooded. Your brain is just too busy to even count the seconds.
And this all leads to a cool phenomenon that psychologists call the wait time paradox.
It explains why just 1 minute of actual boredom can feel like 10 minutes passing by.
So now that you know the trick, you can actually manage your own perception of time. Just flood the gate. The secret is a powerful brain chemical you've definitely heard of, dopamine.
And it does way more than make you feel good. It's the pacer for your brain's internal clock. So, what's going on when you're having fun and time just disappears?
Well, your brain gets flooded with a massive hit of dopamine.
This surge basically speeds up your internal clock, kind of like a high-speed camera.
And because you're processing everything so fast, the outside world just seems to zoom by.
Okay, but what about the flip side? What happens when you're bored out of your mind?
In those moments, your dopamine levels don't just dip, they totally crash.
And that crash slams the brakes on your internal clock, making every single second drag on.
So there you have it. High dopamine, time flies. Low dopamine, time drags. It's that simple.
This is exactly why being bored can feel, well, almost painful sometimes. Your brain is basically starving for stimulation. It's craving that dopamine hit.
So that pain you feel when you're waiting, it's literally a kind of chemical withdrawal.
Your brain actually stretches time on purpose, trying to get you to do something.
It's a survival trick, really, pushing you to get up and explore something new.
So what's the big takeaway from this whole dopamine metronome thing?
Your sense of time isn't fixed at all. It's constantly being rewritten by your brain chemistry.
Think of dopamine as the conductor for your brain, setting the tempo for your life.
Which leaves us with a wild thought. If our perception of time is just chemical, can we learn to control it?
It all comes down to one really powerful word: uncertainty.
You see, your brain is basically a prediction machine, and it absolutely hates not knowing what's next.
A known wait versus an unknown one. Well, that sends your brain down two totally different paths.
When you know how long the wait is, your brain can just chill. This is called passive waiting. You can actually budget your patience because you know exactly what you're in for.
But when that wait time is a complete mystery, you get thrown into what's called active waiting.
In this state, your brain just can't settle. It's on high alert, constantly scanning for any clues.
And all that scanning isn't free. It actually triggers a mild fight or flight response.
Now here's where it gets really weird. That stress literally makes time feel like it's slowing down.
Evolutionarily, this makes total sense, right? It's a survival tool to help you react faster.
But you know, when you're just standing in line, it makes the wait feel like an absolute ordeal.
So, that anxiety you feel from not knowing, it literally acts as a painful time multiplier.
So it's not really about the actual minutes ticking by. It's about how powerless you feel.
That feeling of helplessness is what turns a simple delay into a truly miserable experience.
Turns out, it's all about how your emotions literally bend time. Scientists actually have a name for this: valence. It's how our brain keeps emotional time.
And the rule is incredibly simple. It all comes down to pain versus pleasure.
When you're feeling pleasure, like in a great moment, your brain makes time just fly by. But with pain, your brain does the opposite. It stretches that moment out into forever.
So what's the deal with this bizarre feature?
Well, believe it or not, it's about survival.
Yep, this whole thing is a super ancient instinct hardwired in us to keep us safe.
See, when your brain senses danger, it makes the moment feel longer, forcing you to escape.
Okay, but what does any of this have to do with just sitting on the couch bored?
Here's the twist. We've been thinking about boredom all wrong. It is not a neutral feeling. Your brain actually treats being bored as a genuine, though mild, form of pain.
Waiting used to be just normal.
Think about it. People waited for the rain, for the harvest, for a simple letter.
All that waiting actually trained our brains to handle downtime, to handle nothing happening.
It's like we all had these incredibly strong patience muscles built right in.
But now, that gap between wanting something and getting it has just collapsed.
Back then, you waited for answers. Now, you just Google it. Bam, instant. You used to wait for a movie to come out. Now, you just hit play.
You waited for food to grow. Now a whole meal just shows up at your door. Someone put it perfectly. We've basically wiped out all micro-boredom from our lives.
We're our own DJs now, right? We're in total control of what we see and when.
So, what happens when that constant stream of stuff suddenly gets interrupted?
It is a total shock to the system. Our brain literally doesn't know what to do.
And that shock completely changes our perception of time. A minute feels different.
It's because the clash between our lightning-fast digital life and slow real life is so huge.
And the result of all this? Yep, our patience muscles have pretty much wasted away. We've basically lost the mental tools we need to just be idle for a moment.
Honestly, we've forgotten how to just sit and be alone with our own thoughts.
So, in a world with no waiting, what happens when we're finally forced to be alone?